Eli Kramer was friends. He was a classmate. He was a teammate. He was the bubbly, go-lucky person that everyone on this campus knew and loved deeply.
Words cannot begin to express the grief that flowed across this campus.
To know Kramer was to love him, and I love him, and the rest of this community loves him.
Milligan University is in mourning after one of their own. Track athlete Eli Kramer was struck by a car and killed. The outpouring of support and what comes next, now on News 5 this weekend. Good morning. A student, an athlete, a friend, and a son is now gone after Milligan University track athlete Eli Kramer died at age 20. Kramer was running with his teammates along a road in Williamsburg, Virginia Thursday. They were getting ready for a meet that was supposed to happen today, but instead they were struck by a car. State police say the driver had been drinking. Kramer later died at a hospital. Two other students, Alex Mortimer and Eli Baldy, were injured. Classes were canceled yesterday, and the team has now returned to campus, skipping that meet. News 5's Kristen Kwan reports on Kramer's impact on the community.
The campus of Milligan University is quiet as students, faculty, and staff mourn the loss of 20-year-old Eli Kramer, who was killed in a hit and run while training for a competition in Williamsburg.
And together, we look to God for peace and for strength as we face these final few weeks of the semester, which will now continue in the shadow of this great loss.
Kramer was studying business. He was also a star athlete, setting records for Milligan. But to his friends, he was much more.
He was a man who always knew when to have fun, but also knew when it's time to be serious and lead others.
To know Kramer was to love him, and I love him, and the rest of this community loves him, and he'll be missed.
Two other students, Alex Mortimer and Eli Baldy, were also hit, but are expected to make a full recovery. Alex sending a message to the Milligan community from his hospital bed.
Thank you all for praying for me, for the Milligan team. I want to say that moments like this make you realize what is and is not important in your life.
As the campus grieves, President Bill Greer says they're holding on to their shared faith and strength in God to get them through this difficult time.
This community is strong. It's strong because we rely on a shared faith in God, and we know, we have faith, that He has a plan in which good will rise up out of this tragedy.
Virginia State Police have charged 26-year-old Jose Efrain Hernandez Mancia in the incident. They say he fled the scene before crashing in the median on Route 199. He's charged with DUI, involuntary manslaughter, one felony count of hit and run, and reckless driving, among other charges. Milligan University's athletics department posted this video online showing some of Kramer's top moments on the team, where he had set records and won several awards. Now, counseling is available for students in dorms on campus this weekend, and there has been an outpouring of support from across the country. The principal of Kramer's High School, Murfreesboro, is saying, "Our Warrior family's heart is broken. Please pray for our Kramer family." And from William & Mary College, which is hosting this weekend's track event, our deepest sympathies are with the entire Milligan University community. And at Science Hill High School this morning at 9 o'clock, 19 teams will be competing in a track meet there. The teams are encouraged to wear colors and pins in support of Milligan during this tough time. Now, both Kristen and I are Milligan alum, and of course, the thoughts and prayers of everyone here at News 5 goes to the school and family. We transition now to meteorologist Jessica Burns in the Weather Center, tracking some spring-like weather today. How's it looking out there?
Yeah, we're definitely looking a lot more warmer than yesterday. We were a little on the cool side, but today the spring-like temperatures are back. We're looking a little bit gray overhead, maybe a few gray skies over the campus of Tusculum University. It's a very cool morning. You might be waking up to a little bit of frost in some spots. Here's Northeast State on our Ashley weather camera. Temperatures right now sitting at around 29 degrees. degrees, maybe a few clouds overhead in some spots, but otherwise seeing some very clear conditions this morning. That's why we saw those really cold temperatures overnight last night. We're all sitting relatively cold. Upper 20s to low 30s is where we're at this morning. Lebanon 29, 32 in Wise, 30 in Johnson City, and 23 degrees right now in Marion. Temperatures will warm up though as we go into the afternoon. We'll be seeing temperatures in the low 60s by this afternoon. Not expecting to see any rain. We'll get that icon changed for the 7:30 hit, but we will be seeing a little bit of clouds overhead at times today. Now, as we go into the next couple of days, we are going to be seeing our temperatures increase even more, feeling even more like spring, but that means that we'll be seeing those April showers returning to the forecast as well, and also cooler temperatures at the very end of the week. We'll walk through the next several days in just a few minutes.
And there's much more news to cover after the break. We have breaking news overnight of a local alderman abruptly resigning to pursue an opportunity to take a local business national. Who it is and what we know about that business opportunity. And the county's CDC is now moving into the low spread, no mask category. Also coming up, local firefighters in Sevier County battling a wildfire spanning thousands of acres. How close they are to putting it out. And later, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for some local high schoolers today. How you can witness it. This is News 5 This Weekend.
.com.
Breaking overnight, Jonesboro Alderman Stephen Callahan is resigning. Callahan owns multiple businesses, including the Tennessee Hills Distillery in Jonesboro and Tennessee Hills Brew Distillery in Johnson City. In a letter to Mayor Chuck Vest, Callahan says he has an opportunity to take the businesses national, which requires moving out of his Jonesboro home. Callahan says the local businesses will remain open. He didn't elaborate further on where he is moving or the details of the business opportunity. Also new this morning, the CDC now ranks all but 3 counties in our region in the low spread, no mask category. Lee, Dickinson, and Wise counties are in the medium category where people with high risk conditions should talk to their doctor. I talked with local health experts about what the big shift means and how to decide if you should get another booster, now available for people age 50 and older.
We are coming into a wonderful welcome hiatus.
COVID-19 deaths, hospitalizations, and cases are now at a low level we haven't seen in nearly a year. After the Omicron wave peak of nearly 3,000 cases in a day, we're now down to just 50, equivalent to early June 2021. The CDC now recommends no masks in those counties shaded in green. Local health experts say most vaccinated people should feel safe doing most activities.
Is it zero? It's not. And so people have to understand there's still the risk of infection, but is it any greater right now than the risk of infection with flu and those things that we live with every day?
But for those with higher risk or in situations with large crowds, masks may still be a good idea.
Do you have children that aren't vaccinated? Do you have extremely immunocompromised people in your household that you're still doing everything to protect? And if you are, that's okay, and that's good.
Some states are experiencing slight increases in cases from the BA2 subvariant of Omicron, now accounting for 60% of cases in the U.S. But local health officials aren't alarmed.
I think we may see another little bump, but I don't think we're going to see the massive surge that we saw with the original Omicron variant from earlier this year.
The CDC is now allowing a 4th COVID-19 shot for people aged 50 and up or who are immunocompromised. Local experts say it's a good idea. When asked if this signals the vaccine will be a yearly shot, local health officials say they aren't sure yet. Caleb Perney, News 5, WCYB. ETSU holding its 5th annual iBucks competition. The event is a Shark Tank-style entrepreneurship contest. Students presented their ideas to a panel of judges, pitching ideas ranging from nonprofit services that help children to culinary products to the metaverse.
They get a chance to present their ideas, right? And they get to showcase their creativity, their innovation, and they get energized. I mean, this is a fun, competitive environment.
Students weren't just competing for experience, there were cash prizes too. Firefighters from across the region are battling a blaze in Sevier County that's consumed thousands of acres. The progress they're making coming up.
Even though we're starting the day out really cold, we're going to go warming right back up with spring-like weather returning. And that means rain will time out when those showers will arrive in a few minutes.
Watch today.
Firefighters in Sevier County say they've made significant progress containing 2 wildfires. The Wares Valley fire is now 85% contained. It is also reduced in size, down about 1,000 acres to 2,600. Incident Commander Bruce Miller says crews are in a control and mop-up status. Evacuations have also been scaled back.
I appreciate the outpouring of support. We've had emergency responders come from as far as Middle Tennessee to come and help. We're very grateful for everyone's participation. Due to everyone's fast response and hard work, we've made a lot of progress and a lot of headway on this incident.
Meanwhile, an 800-acre fire in the Seymour area is about 20% contained. Officials say they believe that blaze began at a home. The cause of both fires remains under investigation. Johnson City has appointed a new fire chief. David Bell has been named the interim chief for the past 16 months and now has been promoted to full-time chief. Bell has been with the department since 1999, recently serving as administrative district chief for more than 2 years. He says he's excited and thankful for the chance at this new opportunity.
Thanks to everybody around me in the city, as well as our department, they've helped show me that I did have the capabilities to do that. And they've supported me in my efforts, everything that we've tried to do. We as a department have grown dramatically.
Check out these clouds that Teresa sent from Mohawk, Tennessee. These linear-looking clouds, these are called lenticular clouds. They usually form around either hills or mountainous regions. When winds are pretty gusty, they go up and over the topographic feature, and they usually encounter an area of stability, and that's what causes those rolling wave-like clouds to form. Teresa, thank you for this awesome photo. If you have any nice weather photos that you want us to see, go to WCYB.com/chime in. That's where you go to send us your pictures. It's shaping up to be a pretty nice morning. We're starting to see the sunrise over Johnson City on our Ashley weather camera. It is a little bit of a cold start to the day, though, right now. Here's our temperatures, 29 degrees right now in the Tri-Cities. Our winds are definitely much more calm than the last couple of days, but as we go into the afternoon, we'll still be seeing a little bit of a breeze. Satellite and radar is nice and quiet. We're going to be staying that way as we go into the rest of the day today. However, we will start to see a little bit more cloud cover, especially as we go into the afternoon. Temperatures much warmer than yesterday. Highs in the low, maybe to mid 60s in some spots. Definitely, though, much warmer than yesterday. We'll stay nice and dry for the entire day until we can get into the overnight hours. Then we're going to be watching as a few stray showers just kind of pop up and move across our region. You can see, though, on Future Track, most places will stay nice and dry all weekend long. Now, tonight is going to cool down, but definitely not as cold as last night. We're going to be very mild tonight, dropping down into the low 40s. Some spots, though, in Southwest Virginia could reach down into the upper 30s. So still a little cool in some spots overnight tonight, but tomorrow is going to be very similar to today. Highs will be in the upper 50s to low 60s across much of the region. We'll see a little bit more sunshine all day long tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies are expected. Our threat tracker is going to remain relatively low for the next several days. We'll see very pleasant conditions. We'll actually be much warmer as we go into next week with highs both Monday and Tuesday in the low 70s. How do the mid 70s sound for Wednesday? Sounds pretty great, doesn't it? But the thing is at the very end of the week, we are going to be cooling down to seasonable and then eventually below seasonable. Normally we're in the mid 60s for this time of year. That cooling down at the very end of the week is all because of a cold front that's going to be moving in. That'll start to push in as we go into the middle of the week. Our rain chances will increase as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday as we watch a couple of weather makers start to work into our region. The first one arriving on Tuesday. We're going to be watching to our southwest as a system tracks into our region. That'll send wave number 1 of rain our way during the day on Tuesday. We'll actually see some dry time early on Wednesday, but as we go into the evening and overnight hours, a cold front is going to be pushing in. That'll increase our rain chances once again as we go into early Thursday morning. Still too early to have exact details on how much rain we're going to be seeing. Of course, check back for more updates, but we do know that from Tuesday to Wednesday, we'll have higher rain chances both of those days. Staying warm all the way through Wednesday. Highs will be in the mid-70s. Overnight temperatures becoming very mild as well in the 40s and 50s. Normally we're in the upper 30s. And then as we go into the very end of the week, we're going to be becoming very cool. Friday highs in the upper 50s.
A big grant to help multiple nonprofits. What they plan to do with the money still ahead on News 5.
Storm Track 5 weather cameras brought to you by your locally owned Ashley.
Coming up this week on Full Measure, there's a mass exodus from America's public schools, with a growing number of parents deciding to homeschool or find other education alternatives. We reveal the hard data and look at what the impact might be on school systems losing pupils and tax dollars. Also, we'll examine America's complex and controversial relationship with Ukraine. From Hunter Biden's ties to a Ukrainian energy company and the false Trump-Russia collusion story to Trump's impeachment, Ukraine has been a recurring theme. And we meet members of a secretive Israeli Defense Force unit looking to revolutionize warfare through the use of drones. What the new technology means for a region plagued by conflict. That's this week on Full Measure.
Home today.
The Biden administration is preparing for a potential surge at the southern border. The president announced Friday he's removing a pandemic-related rule imposed under former President Trump designed to keep migrants out. Sinclair's chief political correspondent Scott Thuman shows us both sides of the debate.
Arrests at the southern border already an all-time high could see a drastic spike as the White House gets rid of Title 42, a rule begun under Trump allowing border officials to automatically return some migrants due to COVID concerns. But court challenges and a decline in COVID cases convinced President Biden to end it.
Since the beginning, I have said that we should be ending Title 42. They were essentially keeping anybody from having their asylum claim processed in the United States. But in the meantime, we allowed many Afghan refugees to be processed in the United States, Ukrainian refugees now to be processed in the United States, and even some Russians.
The administration aware of the challenges.
There will be an influx of people to the border. And so we are doing a lot of work to plan for that contingency.
And the throngs of migrants waiting in Mexico, as our teams recently saw in the Del Rio sector, where crossings have tripled since last year.
That in and of itself overwhelms our capacity.
Experts say there could be 18,000 encounters a day border-wide. Politically, the Washington Post calling it dangerous for Democrats, who worry the GOP can further claim Biden isn't controlling the border, just as midterms are heating up and only 33% of Americans surveyed approve of his handling of the crisis.
Against removing Title 42. Maybe that would get us to spur us to get a good immigration policy that works for Americans secure our borders. Borders have to be secure.
Republicans telling us it's the president's problem now.
He's been president now for about 15 or 16 months. He's had plenty of time to make aggressive moves to slow and deter the flow of illegal immigration, and they've done nothing.
There is still time to do more in preparation. The Biden administration ending this policy now, but it won't fully take effect until May 23rd. In Washington, I'm Scott Thuman.
The grant coming to several nonprofits in our region and what they plan to do with the money coming up. And inside, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Johnson City high schoolers. How you can get the tickets later on News 5.
See you next time.
Two local nonprofits have been chosen as the recipients of the Stanley Black & Decker Empower Makers Global Impact Challenge Grant. The Coalition for Home Repair and Appalachian Service Project will receive a total of $200,000 in grant money for their programs. The two nonprofits were selected out of 240 organizations nationwide. Together, the agencies help low-income families who need home repair or a new home, while also teaching trade skills.
This is huge. This sort of funding supports the mission overall, but really has a long-lasting impact because it's about education and training people to be in the trades and have more impact in their community, so it just continues to pay it forward.
The coalition is headquartered in Jonesboro, and its membership includes Appalachian Service Project and Holston Habitat for Humanity. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is coming tonight for Science Hills Orchestra students. How you can witness it all coming up. And the hiring event happening today in Johnson City. How to put your name in the hat. That's in our next half hour on News 5 This Weekend.
Retirement.
From WCYB, this is News 5 This Weekend.
And welcome back. It's now 7:31. We're here with meteorologist Jessica Burns, who is tracking some cold temperatures this morning, but spring-like this afternoon.
Yeah, it's all because we're seeing the sun. We are seeing sunshine right now, but even though the sun is shining, it's definitely not very warm this morning. It's rather cold. Some spots might even see a little bit of light frost across the region. Here's that golden sunrise over the Southwest Virginia Community College on our Ashley weather camera. It's shining down on Kingsport. Looking great, but not feeling great. 29 degrees right now in the Tri-Cities with pretty calm winds as well. That's what led us to see the really cold temperatures overnight, the calm winds and clear skies. Still seeing them on satellite and radar, maybe a few thin clouds trying to creep on in to our south and west, but we can see temperatures really, really cold. 27 degrees in Gate City, 30 in Grundy, 30 in Elizabethton, 36 degrees right now in Greenville. You're one of our warm spots, and 25 right now in Jonesville. As we go into the rest of your day today, unfortunately, the cloud cover is going to increase throughout the day, but we are going to warm despite the cloud cover overhead. We'll see temperatures much warmer than yesterday. Highs will be in the low 60s for most. Some spots, though, could be in the upper 50s. Now, we'll continue to warm even as we go into the week ahead of us. However, with the spring-like temperatures means we'll see spring-like weather. And we are in April. That means April showers will be rolling through, and they'll be coming in this week. We'll time out when you can expect that rain to be arriving in a few minutes.
Gorgeous sunrise out there. Tonight, a handful of Science Hill High School students are getting the chance to perform with one of the most well-known orchestrions in all of music in front of nearly 2,000 people. News 5's Andrew McClung explains this moment has been a long time coming for students.
2 years ago, orchestral students from 5th to 12th grade at Johnson City Schools were set to perform with legendary musician Mark Wood at Freedom Hall. Wood is one of the founding members of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but COVID-19 concerns forced a change of plans.
It was depressing, to say the least.
Devastating, really.
Last year, students thought there would be an opportunity to do a live show.
In 7th grade, okay, we might be able to do it again. Nope, shut down.
However, they were able to do an online performance.
Thousands of students sending us videos. We put together something for Johnson City last year, so that was at least something. But nothing's better than live, being here in the flesh and blood.
But this year, as COVID cases have decreased, Wood told the students he would be back.
Really amazing that he's come back after 2 years, because he could have just left us and not even cared. So it's really an honor to be with him here.
He is amazing at what he does. He is truly an incredible person, and I wouldn't like to have anyone else.
But Wood says the honor is all his.
They are off the charts, excited and energy. And of course, that is the perfect state of mind to perform and play music. And we don't want to push aside the power of the arts during challenging times.
In Johnson City, Andrew McClung, News 5, WCYB.
And the crowd goes wild.
Now, if you want to check it out, that performance is tonight at 7 o'clock in Freedom Hall in Johnson City. More information about tickets at WCYB.com. A Bristol baby went to the hospital after a dog bit off part of the child's ear, and now 3 people are facing charges. According to Bristol, Virginia police, the 7-month-old parents and grandmother refused to take the little one to the hospital. Authorities tell us it was hours before help was called. Now, James Reed, Morgan Self, and Sandra Reed are charged with abuse and neglect of a child. The baby has since been released from the hospital and is no longer in the custody of the parents. Petworks in Kingsport has had an outbreak of parvo and a shutdown for dog intake. Shelter officials say the outbreak began last week when a litter of dogs were brought in. They are at full capacity with over 90 dogs right now and say they have worked tirelessly to keep the outbreak down, but have lost 4 animals to the disease.
It's because parvo is out there right now. It usually breaks in the spring, so this is the prime time for parvo. Couple of vets have said that they have had parvo cases at their clinics. So it started. So I can't stress enough to people to please vaccinate your animals. It'll save their life.
The shelter is still open for people to come by and check out the adoptable cats, but dog intake will be closed for another week. Details on an opportunity to get hired coming up when the new business coming to Johnson City plans to open. Well, April is National Donate Life Month, and for those waiting for a transplant, we have good news today. Sinclair Medical reporter Liz Bonis shares the details of a new study showing organs from COVID-19 patients pose little risk to patients and staff.
Hey there, hello to you. This new study from researchers at Duke University found that organ donation from dying donors that tested positive for COVID-19 is safe.
The world needs to know, don't get comfortable on that dialysis machine, because there is hope out there.
Well, ideally, healthy COVID-free living donors are the best option for those such as Sharice Washington, who needed a kidney.
I'm thankful to the donor who decided to help our patient. It's individuals who decide to become living donors that make these miracles happen.
This study found when it comes to organs that require a deceased donor, there is no increased risk with COVID-positive organs to the recipient or the transplant team and staff. This expands options right now for the 20 people who die every day in the United States waiting for transplants, according to Life Center Organ Donor Network.
For the people thinking about it, this is how you can impact patients' lives as well.
Now, this new study being presented next month at the European Congress of Clinical Microbiology and Infectious Diseases shares the results of 30 donors who had tested positive for COVID-19 that had resolved, and 38 donors who had an active COVID-19 case at the time of their death. Researchers found organs from donors who have had COVID-19 are safe, and organs from donors with active COVID-19 may be considered for transplant if there are no symptoms from COVID-19 and the patient died of causes not related to the virus. From those receiving this gift of life,
I would like to say thank you for saving my life and give me a second chance.
the average follow-up time, by the way, in this COVID-19 study was 46 days after transplant. There were no infections in healthcare workers who treated those patients. I'm medical reporter Liz Bonis. Now back to you.
A hiring event happening today. The new business coming to our region and when it plans to open after the break.
Lots of sunshine this morning, but eventually the cloud cover is going to increase and soon rain will move in. When will that be? We'll talk about it in a few minutes.
An entertainment eatery is coming to the Tri-Cities region and also hosting an all-day hiring event today. Tiebreakers is looking for servers, hosts, and kitchen staff. The owners say they're looking for around 50 employees for the restaurant and more for the entertainment area, which includes more than 80 arcade games and hyper bowling.
For our hiring event, we are encouraging anybody to come out who loves fun and the hospitality industry. We want people who are passionate about creating experiences, kind of going above and beyond for the guests.
The hiring event is happening from 9 until 5 o'clock. You can find the address at WCYB.com. They hope to open around Easter weekend. Grocery store chain Kroger is holding Insta interviews for all stores in its Mid-Atlantic division. That includes the Abingdon and Bristol locations. It's called Talent Tuesdays and is held on Tuesdays from 4 until 7. Job seekers should apply online before coming into the store. New hires could qualify for up to $21,000 in education reimbursements.
We don't just sell groceries. We have a lot of different departments within the division, a lot of departments within the entire company that if you further your education in business or real estate or engineering something, you could get up to $21,000 to pay for your education, first of all, and then you could come back in one of those accelerated roles.
More information on our website, WCYB.com.
The last several days have been very windy. Now, on average, March and April are our two windiest months here in the Tri-Cities, so that's not unheard of for things to be pretty gusty for this time of year. But right now, things are calm. We're actually seeing a great morning. Here's Northeast State on our Ashley weather camera. We got the sunshine, calm winds, but look at the temperatures. Not feeling great. 29 degrees in the Tri-Cities. Definitely a cold start to the day, but since we're seeing lots of sunshine right now, we are going to be warming up really quickly. Here's satellite and radar. Not a lot's going on. A little bit of clouds building off to our south and west. As we go into the rest of the day today, we are unfortunately going to be seeing that cloud cover increase, but that's not going to stop our temperatures from warming up. We'll be seeing highs much warmer than yesterday in the low to possibly mid-60s in some spots. And of course, we're going to stay nice and pleasant throughout the entire day today. But as we go into the overnight hours, we're going to be watching as a few stray showers just kind of pop up and move across our region. But you can see on Future Track, most places are going to stay nice and dry this weekend. Now, overnight tonight, we are going to cool down, not as cold as last night, dropping down into the low 40s for most. Some spots, though, in Southwest Virginia could reach down into the upper 30s, so still a little bit chilly in some locations. But tomorrow is going to be very comparable to today. Highs will be upper 50s to low 60s, seeing lots more sunshine in the afternoon. We'll see partly cloudy skies tomorrow. Our threat tracker will remain relatively low for the time being. We'll actually see pleasant conditions as we go into next week. Look at what our temperatures do. Highs will go up into the 70s by Monday and Tuesday. Out of the mid-70s for Wednesday. Sound pretty great, right? But then we're going to be watching as things change. At the very end of the week, we'll see highs go down into the mid-60s and eventually the upper 50s. So we'll get seasonable at some point as we go into the very end of the week. Now, that big change is all associated with our next weather maker that's coming through. It'll up our rain chances as well starting on Tuesday. We're going to be watching as a couple of weather makers work into our region. The first one happening on Tuesday. We're going to be watching to our southwest. This system in the southwest is going to be tracking up into our region as we go into Tuesday, bringing some widespread rain showers. Then we'll actually see some dry conditions for portions of the day on Wednesday. A little bit of a break from the rain, but then right behind that first weather maker is our second one. It's a cold front that'll be headed our way as we go Wednesday night and into Thursday. That'll up our rain chances once again. Still too early to have exact details with both of those weather makers on how much rain we'll see. Of course, we will keep you updated as more data comes in, but today, not seeing any rain. We will be seeing a little bit of a light breeze, and temperatures much warmer than yesterday. Will be in the low 60s today. Then we're going to get even warmer as we go into the work week. The 70s return for Monday and Tuesday. Slight chance for rain overnight tonight, otherwise staying dry up until Tuesday when our weather makers start to work in Tuesday and Wednesday. Staying warm up until Wednesday. That's when our cold front will arrive. We'll go from the mid-70s to the mid-60s, dropping about 10 degrees by the time we hit Thursday. Showers clear out Thursday morning, and then we get really cool as we go into the very end of the week. Highs on Friday in the upper 50s.
Storm Track 5 weather cameras brought to you by your locally owned Ashley.
NBC. Tennessee and Vanderbilt began a 3-game series last night in Nashville. It was a tough ticket to get, so tough that according to Vivid Seats, it would be cheaper to get tickets to the Final Four than it would for all 3 games in this series down in Nashville. This game started with some fireworks. Top of the first, Jordan Beck, opposite field home run. However, each bat must have a sticker on it prior to the series. Beck's bat didn't, or it had the wrong sticker. Couple different things out there. Whatever it was an automatic out. Tennessee's Tony Vitello not happy, but a few innings later, he had this to say about what happened.
The sticker came off during BP. There was no sticker on the bat. You got to have a sticker. We've actually, since I've learned that, we've got a few bats that somehow conveniently the stickers have come off. So I don't know, but I don't even know that Jordan Beck should be at University of Tennessee. Forged his transcript, and it's actually a 35-year-old man named Mike Concho.
All right, that is a reference to the movie Talladega Nights there, Mike Concho. Back to the game now. Second inning, Vols' Luke Lipsius, a 2-run homer to right, and you know what's coming. Yeah, the Vols are going to have some fun. Say, hey, let's really look over this bat, make sure the sticker's on there. Okay, everything's good. 2-0 Tennessee. Now let's go to the 5th inning. Vols up 2-1. Beck up this time. No trouble with the sticker. He ropes a double into the gap. 2 runs coming to score. The Vols take a 4-1 lead. Vandy has some problems with the lights at their home field. Later in the 5th, Trey Lipscomb will pop up at the end of the inning. The right fielder, no clue where the ball is. He wasn't anywhere near it. Lipscomb with a triple, another run scores. That was the second time that inning Vandy had a ball lost in the lights. Tennessee takes the game 1 of this series 6-2. And speaking of the Vols, John Battle has a freshman, Evan Hankins. He's already committed to UT for baseball. He did that a couple weeks ago. Last night, he and the Trojans, they were focused on Ridgeview. Bottom of the first, Battle already leading 2-0. Adding on Noah Saylor, doubles to deep center. 2 runs coming to score. It's 4-0 Trojans. Battle now with the bases loaded. Landon Odom at the plate. He triples down the left field line. All 3 runners come in to score. Battle sends 12 batters to the plate in the first inning. 8 of them come in to score. They get the win 16-1 over Ridgeview. NASCAR champ Kyle Larson running last night in the super late model feature in the Bristol Dirt Nationals. He'll be there tonight as well. 20 laps to go. Chris Madden in the lead, but here comes Larson in the 6th car making the move. He was 9th, passes Scott Bloomquist, and he also gets past Brandon Shepard. He got all the way to 4th, but then he ran out of laps. Madden gets the win and a $50,000 prize for winning the main event at the Bristol Dirt Nationals. That's what it's sports. Have a great Saturday.
We're seeing the sun now, but eventually the clouds will roll in. Temperatures, though, going to be much warmer than yesterday. We're going to be up into the 60s. We'll eventually return to the 70s as we start next week. Could see a few showers overnight tonight, otherwise staying dry until around the middle of the week. That's where we're going to be watching 2 systems come through, upping our rain chances. Will be nice and warm Wednesday, but a cold front arrives on Wednesday, and that's going to knock us back down. Look at Friday. I don't want to look at it. 57.
But it's nice to see that we're easing towards some warmth.
Yes, we'll get there eventually.
All right, thanks, Jessica, and thank you for watching. Today's show coming up next.